4 million years ago, life was a relentless, grinding horror, but the ultimate terror, bringing a new life into a world designed only for death. Tonight, a child is born, and every predator on the savannah has smelled the blood. Welcome to the human dawn. It was the worst possible night. The pains had begun. Zara was alone with Kai, deep inside a rough-hewn cave. Birth, even today, carries risk. In the Stone Age, it was a death sentence. The tribe was hunting. The cold, brutal savannah offered no mercy, and the air was alive with unseen hunters drawn by the scent of blood. The danger was not distant. The next day, out foraging, the silent killer struck. The saber-toothed cat, faster shadow, targeted the vulnerable mother. Kai had only his body to protect her, pushing her behind a small rock, facing the flashing teeth. The sheer terror of protecting the newborn drove him to an impossible defiance. The tribe's collective defense was the only thing that saved them. The saber-tooth, unwilling to risk injury against superior numbers, retreated. They had won a critical, agonizing victory, but they couldn't stop. They had to reach the safety of the cave before night fell and the worst hunters emerged. Under the flickering, fragile light of fire, the future was born, a triumph of survival against unimaginable odds. Kai looked at his child, a tiny, vulnerable promise. But the soft scent of birth carried far beyond the cave walls. The deepest horror was yet to come. The night hunters arrived. Not the swift cat, but the massive, bone-crushing Mega-Hyena, driven by the scent of the newborn. It stood at the threshold, its massive shadow blocking the moonlight. The cave was no longer a sanctuary, it was a trap. This was the moment humanity mastered fire. Not for warmth, but for war. The tribe stood shoulder to shoulder, wielding flaming brands, turning the ultimate terror of the night against the beast. The Mega-Hyena recoiled, confused and terrified by the raw heat and light. The defense did not stop at the cave mouth. Driven by desperation, the tribe strategically unleashed fire onto the savannah itself. The blaze created a terrifying, burning barrier. A chaotic, apocalyptic scene where nature turned on itself, protecting the fragile human future. Fire was the weapon, but water was the tool of control. The tribe learned to manage the inferno, using the river to create a safe zone, a moat of protection. This wasn't just luck, it was reasoning applied to survival. The mastery of fire demanded the mastery of all elements. The sounds of the chase faded. They survived the night, but under the vast, indifferent sky, the terror remained. Every breath was a victory, every dawn a challenge. Their success was built not on luck, but on the primal, unyielding need to ensure the survival of the family. The fire, intended purely for defense, yielded an unexpected bounty. The cooked meat provided the massive caloric and protein intake essential for growth, for Zara's recovery, for Kai's strength, and for the newborn's future. The ultimate weapon had also become the ultimate provider. The lessons were indelible. The terror of the Mega-Hyena drove them past mere reaction. Every quiet moment was now dedicated to strengthening their defense strategy. The future would rely on better primitive weapons, better shelter, and absolute vigilance. They were not strong alone. They were strong together. The collective memory of the night under siege became their greatest teacher. The survival of the species hinged entirely on the commitment of the tribe to protect its most fragile, valuable asset, the newborn. The trauma of that night was the ultimate evolutionary catalyst. Fire gave them power over the dark. Fear gave them the intellect to use it. The struggle to save one small life, the newborn, forced the development of technology that would define the next million years of human evolution. We survived the fire, we survived the fangs, but that savage primal terror, it lives on. It is the price of our intelligence. Follow the human dawn, pause and never forget what hunts in the shadows of your own mind.